And when questions are asked, be concise and precise in your answers.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The nominee, Dorcas Oduor, all of us in the legal fraternity know that you have previously worked at the State Law Office and the Prosecution Department. I think mostly people know you as that, as per your CV also. And when the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution was delinked from the Office of the Attorney General in 2010, you transitioned to the Office of the DPP, where you were serving as the second most senior person as Secretary Public Prosecution. Could you share with this committee what you consider was your greatest achievements in the 30 years in your public service? And secondly, if approved as Attorney General, like you rightfully said, you will make history as the first woman Attorney General. Like myself, all the women in the legal fraternity have high expectations of you as one of the most senior women in the legal fraternity. In this regard, tell us what you'd consider to be your vision of the office of the Attorney General should you be approved. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I joined the office of the Attorney General in 1992, and I would divide my achievements from the Office of the Attorney General and the Office of the DPP into 4 sectors. When I joined in 1992, for the first 8 years, I was a courtroom lawyer. I prosecuted all manner of cases in all courts to the highest court. The epitome of that was in 2000, when I was nominated to go and assist Kenya in prosecuting the 1998 bomb blast victims, a case in New York. And we successfully did that. Another epitome of my court work was the case that I prosecuted against. It is known as the Gachanja case. The reason why it is my achievement, it is the first time that a prosecutor was able to forfeit instruments of crime and proceeds of crime. In that matter, one of the accused persons had been paid by a piece of land in order to commit murder, and I successfully forfeited what he was paid. That matter went up to the Supreme Court, and it was upheld. My third success in court would be the case of Chris Okemo on extradition. There was a conflict between the Office of the Attorney General and the Office of the DPP as to whose responsibility it is to sign authority to proceed. I did prosecute that case, litigated it, because it was a civil case now. It was a constitutional petition. I did litigate it in the High Court and the Court of Appeal. I filed responses in the Supreme Court. My colleague prosecuted it at the Supreme Court, and we were successful. That matter is now settled, that it is the responsibility of the Director of Public Prosecutions to sign the authority to proceed. That is in the courtroom, among others. While serving in the office of the AG and the DPP, I was able to participate, humbly so. I was appointed by different heads of state in this country to serve in commissions and task forces. I served in the Akiwimi Commission on land clashes, and it is after we had submitted our report that we started land reforms in this country. I served in the Goldenberg Commission, and it is after we submitted our report that we relooked at our PFM Act. I served in the Police Task Force on police reforms, and it is the result of that task force that we now have IPOA, we have the Police Service Commission, we have the IG as a single command of the police and the AP. We also have the merger of the Kenya Police and APs under single command. Other than task forces within the country, I have contributed internationally in different forums. My first contribution was with the Commonwealth Secretariat. I was called in as an expert to review the Harare scheme on mutual legal assistance. It is after my contribution to the ComSec and successful review of that mutual legal assistance scheme